And right now on the line, I have the president of the Preston Garden Club. Welcome to Plenty Valley FM once again, Bill.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Lovely to be here.
Right, now, you had a big night Wednesday night, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Wednesday night was our October general meeting of the Preston Garden Club, and we had Kat Lavers, who is she's actually a Darebin resident. She's a passionate gardener and sustainable food system advocate. Grows almost 500 kilograms worth of food in her own garden. She presented to us on permaculture. She had her residency, which she calls the Plumbery. She used that as a case study for us, and we talked through all sorts of different permaculture principles, and you considering things like quails or chalks, as well as food, it was an amazing talk. And Kat came on. What normally happens, Bill, we'll have a bit of a general discussion, and then we have our presenter come on, and they'll talk for often maybe half an hour or a bit over, and have our other monthly raffles and competitions and supper. And we had 37 attendees this month, so it was a really popular meeting.
And you had plenty of seedlings and cuttings to go around as well.
We did. We introduced a seedling and plant exchange table, which is something we haven't done for a while. And originally, coming out of the Seniors Festival, it was, Bill, where the idea originally was to provide a free cutting, and we extended that to seedlings. And we know a lot of members have excess seedlings, particularly this time of year. And rather than have them go to waste, we ended up having four tables of seedlings and cuttings. It was terrific. Everyone brought in their seedlings and brought home a couple, and it gave an opportunity for people to have a bit of a chat and share information on the type of plants that they grow, and they can ask others about what they have, and it was really positive. So we're hoping we can continue that on in coming months.
Now, you've got a bit of a mixture of gardeners over there, because there's gardeners that have got reasonably sized blocks of land, others that are, because there's what you call multiple dwellings on the land, have had their garden areas made smaller. But you've also got people living in high-rise buildings.
That's right, Bill. I guess there's an area like Preston and those sort of northern suburbs. We have the traditional block where we have a lot of gardeners who have been part of the club for many years, who've grown up and spent their lives with that larger suburban block. And then as medium-level development comes in and lots of units, we have a lot of people now in the area, of course, living in flats and units and apartments. So they have a smaller space, but they still love their plants and love gardening. And people in units also want to be part of that community too. And I think indoor gardening is something that a lot of people have become interested in lately. So that we have a real diverse mix of members and types of households where you would live. So as far as we're concerned, if you have an interest in gardening and horticulture and you'd like to make some friends, we'd love to have anyone come along to Preston Garden Club, and people come from all of those sort of gardening backgrounds.
And your members have a wealth of knowledge too, whether it's inside or outside gardens.
They do. We've got members there who have been here for many, many years, and many years of gardening experience. Both some, I think, Bill, from a professional point of view, and maybe professionals in the industry, but many home gardeners and people that have, just through years and years of trial and sharing knowledge with others, have a lot of information, knowledge to give. And on the other hand as well, Bill, I've seen the situation where newer members have brought along different plants, and gardeners have been gardening for all their lives go, oh, what's that plant? I haven't seen that before. So everyone has information and knowledge to share, and everyone's happy to do that.
Gardening is a learning experience.
That's right, and what works in one garden may or may not work in another. So everyone just loves to go, I've tried growing this, and I know I'll just grow it in a pot, whereas someone else will put it in the ground, and it's just good to have that opportunity for everyone to share information.
And what are some of the other, you mentioned Kat came and spoke about permaculture. What's some of the other talks that you've had on throughout the year?
Yeah, back in, I think it was March, Bill, we had Karen Sutherland, who is a bit of a tomato expert. Karen lives up in northern Victoria, and she herself and her siblings have done a lot of work on in all sorts of areas of research around tomatoes. And she came and presented, I believe it was March, and actually I did ask her a question actually around Melbourne with the shorter seasons, and she mentioned tomatoes and considering determinant varieties for Melbourne might be something to try. So I know this year I went and got 5 different determinant varieties to trial them this summer and see how I go with my crop. But she was terrific. We've also had the Sylvester Hive, which is a community group just up in Preston, probably about 1 kilometre as the crow flies from where we meet. And we also have a number of members who are members of both. They were very interesting, talking about how their organisation developed out of an old school playground. And in September we had Andrew Laidlaw, who probably a lot of people would know through being, a number of roles, but majorly, I guess, the landscape architect at Royal Botanic Gardens, as well as being the president of the Global Gardens of Peace, which is a new organisation. So Andrew came and talked about both of those topics. And look, we have probably 45 minutes to an hour for a speaker. I mean, we would have been happy to listen for 3 hours. Andrew was such an engaging speaker, but he was Andrew's topic went down really well with the members as well. And we also, we have another one coming up for November as well, Bill.
Right, so you provide some great insight into gardening from the people you get in as well.
Oh yeah, we do. We have, and with often, and not always the case, but often with the speakers or presenters, they have the time to stay back afterwards for supper and chat with the members, and they can again have an opportunity to talk and mix with them and share knowledge as well.
Right, and I believe that the club is coming up for a big anniversary, not too distant future. Yes,
Preston Garden Club was formed in 1934, so next year will be the 90th anniversary of the club, so that's a fairly major milestone. And we're looking to, at this moment, we've gone to the members and said and asked them what do you want to do with the 90th? Are you into what sort of ideas do you have? What sort of event would you like to market, or a number of events? And also asking them to contribute things such as photos and memorabilia, and whether they have any articles. So we're at the moment still in that gathering phase with members to see how they want to market and what they want to do with it. But we are planning the actual 90 years bill is in August of next year, so we've got 10 months to plan and put something out there for the club to celebrate.
You're doing a book on the history?
We're hoping to. That at this point, we'd certainly like to. Our long-term treasurer and secretary, Robert Strognall, he's already got a lot. We've got a lot of information. We've even got everything in terms of committee minutes all the way back to the very first committee meeting minutes. Robert's done a little bit of a timeline of significant events, although I think at this point we're still looking to collect a lot of information and fill that out a bit more, and then have someone help sort of maybe edit that and put that in, tell it in a little bit of a story for the members. But yeah, that's definitely something we're aiming to do, is to get a book about the history of the club.
So if anyone out there is listening at the moment, maybe their family from generations back had something or did something at the Preston Garden Club, or if you've got a treasure trove of photos, I'm sure that, Bill, you'd like them to contact you.
That would be terrific, Bill, if there is anyone listening who has had some involvement in the club. I've made some efforts to contact the Darebin Library in the local area. They don't seem to have a lot on us, and unfortunately some of the historical societies in Darebin are not operating anymore. So I've come to a little bit of a dead end in that way. So yes, if you have anyone out there who has got photos or documents, anything from Preston Garden Club, we'd love to hear from you.
And can they? Have you got a website that they can contact you through, or a phone number?
Yeah, we've got we have a website which is prestongardenclub.org.au. We have a club email which is probably the best place to contact us, and that's prestongardenclub at hotmail.com.
prestongardenclub@hotmail.com. Right, so we expect the messages to be flooding in.
Oh, this would be great. As I said, Bill, there's so much history around this club, and it'd be great to be able to capture that and then tell that story and acknowledge that next year and celebrate it.
And if you're interested in the club, come down to whereabouts do you meet?
Yeah, we meet on the fourth Wednesday of each month, except December, obviously being Christmas. The meetings are held we have the Preston Shire Hall, which is 286 Gower Street in Preston. And the meetings start at 8. And as mentioned, we'll do a bit of general discussion, and then we have a speaker presenter and monthly competitions, a raffle, and then we have a supper provided at the conclusion.
That's where all the work gets done.
Yeah, that's it. That's where all the chat, all the discussions, all the exchange of information. That's where it all happens.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, tell me a little bit about your garden.
Well, I'm in Preston, and we've got a typical Preston suburban block, I guess, and which used to have a larger backyard, and we did a bit of a knockdown rebuild for a bit more room for the family. So I've got a little bit of a smaller backyard now. But what I have been doing, and we moved back in, Bill, about 15 months ago, is I've have a lot of fruit trees, and I've been lining the borders with those, using in some cases some things like sort of Evergrow bags where I don't have to worry about roots getting into pipes and under concrete slabs. Lots of things like poppies, and whether it's Californian Oriental, borage, lavender, things to try and bring lots of bees to the front garden. And the front garden at the moment, we're doing a bit of a mix of vegetables and fruit and colour, and just really trying to mix it up. And I'm also actually at the moment, I just finished late last night trying to do some more painting of my fence. So once I've painted down my east side, I can then start to put my plants. I'd like to do some gourds and smaller pumpkins and use the vertical walls a lot more. So I'm quite interested in the vertical walls and gardening and fruit, a bit of mix of fruit, vegetables, and lots of flowers. And I'm a bit of an everything gardener. I like an eclectic mix.
Do you have a lemon tree?
Oh yes, well, I've got one in the backyard there now, and I'm just second year. It's still little, but it's growing and got lots of flowers on it.
Right. So it sounds like you've got a garden that brings in the bees and possibly the birds.
Yes, we do. Well, we get a lot of bees, particularly I had the California California poppies before we had to demolish, unfortunately, but they survived and came back. So probably a good 2 or 3 square metres of the front garden is just all California poppies, and the bees just absolutely love it. Doesn't matter what's happening every day, the bees are out there, so it's amazing. And so I want to keep that going with some other types of flowers and vegetables as well. So yeah, we love the bees around here.
Oh, great. All right. Now the club meets the fourth Wednesday of the month down at the old Preston Shire offices in Gower Street. And your website is prestongardenclub.org.au?
Yes, that's right.
And your email address?
Yes. And our email address is theprestongardenclub@hotmail.com.
Hotmail.com, right. Okay. Well, we've just about run out of time, so is there anything you'd like more to say on the Garden Club?
Well, just with our November meeting, Bill, which is this month, it's a little bit early because obviously the first Wednesday is the first. It's the 22nd of November, and our presenter this month will be Ukema Cameron, and she likes to talk about bugs. So we're talking the good, the bad, and the bugly. Your garden's bug life. So if you're interested in that presentation, you'd like to come along, we'd love to see you at the Preston Garden Club on Wednesday, the 22nd of November.
So bugs are good.
Yeah, I'm keen to get some more in my garden too, Bill. Mine's, as I said, it's 15 months, so I think it's obviously it's a good sign when you've got the bugs in there. So
what do you call snails?
What do I call
a bug, or just a bugger?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought of that. What do you call them?
A nuisance. Yeah, but we've just got a new puppy, and she hasn't woken up yet to the snails. But our older dog, when we had an Airedale, she used to go and forage around and grab the snails and play with them. And the little one, we've just got a little 6-month-old one at the moment. Not an Airedale, but what's she called? A spoodle, and she's trying to catch the little skinks in the garden at the moment.
It's a good sign if you've got them in there in the garden.
Yes. All right. Well, look, thank you very much for coming on today, and I'm glad you had a great meeting last Wednesday. So all the best with the Banyul. I'm getting tongue tied here. Preston Garden Club, and thank you for coming on today, Bill.
It's been a pleasure, Bill. Loved it. Thank you.
Right, we'll have to get you on again some other time when we've got some free space.
It'd be great to chat again.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye for now.
Thanks, Bill.
We're just talking there with Bill Chamberlan from the Preston Garden Club.